Today, from the Mississippi River Valley, the land of Mark Twain, we bring you today's Tom Sawyers of racing. Shake Me's Tom Meets. And the four-time indoor champion, the Super Trooper, Tommy Martin, had the list of supercharged racing gamblers. Rolling the dice down by the riverside. This is Trucks and Tractor Power, featuring the all-stars of the four-wheel and off-road Jamboree Quad Cities Nationals. Welcome to Trucks and Tractor Power on the Nashville Network. Today we bring you the four-wheel and off-road Jamboree Quad Cities Nationals from the Mississippi Valley Fairgrounds in Davenport, Iowa. Of course, here on the banks of the Mississippi, riverboat gambling is one of the big attractions. And today we feature some dice-rolling racers in their own right. It's the wide-open thrills of side-by-side open, unlimited mud racing. Hi, everybody, I'm Gary Lee. Anytime you line up supercharged or nitrous-injected race cars on a super slick mud track, you're in for a crapshoot. And one of the guys hoping to cash in on the big jackpot today is standing by with Army Armstrong.
Gary, you're exactly right. We're down in a pit area with a man that is taking a big gamble. The man's name is Tom Martin. The gamble, four-time world champion Martin decides to come outdoors, but he's found some parallels. The parallel, the indoor and the outdoor, happens to be a piece of concrete. Tell me about that concrete wall out there. It seems to have you guys spooked today.
Well, I thought we'd get away from concrete coming outdoors, but this left lane out here is real close down at the end. You don't want to turn left. You hit concrete if you turn left, and if you turn right, you hit the other racer, so it's going to be exciting today.
Gary, it's kind of interesting. You know, it seems like Lady Luck is going to play a role today. We're in Davenport. It's going to be a toss of the dice. They're stepping to the tables right now. Back to you.
So the battle cries to keep it off the concrete as we go gambling here in Davenport. Coming up, stay with us. Welcome back. I'm Gary Lee along with Army Armstrong. Today we're in Davenport, Iowa, where Ford Trucks present the Penda four-wheel and off-road Jamboree Quad Cities Nationals, a part of the B.F. Goodrich Performance Series. And Army today is side-by-side mud racing competition with a Class 6 Open Unlimiteds.
That's exactly what we're going to be seeing. Some of the vehicles will run superchargers, some will be nitrous assisted. What we're saying, it's an old Southern style run what you brung. 180-foot track, but Gary, you're running against the clock. The guy in the lane next to you has nothing to do with you. You got one shot. It's ironic we'd be in Davenport, the city of gamblers, on a gambling one-run only deal. These guys have come from all over the country to take a shot, hopefully quicker than 3 seconds.
Dan Brown, the top gun, against Tommy Gelder and Terminator. We saw Tommy a couple of years ago in Panama City. Drove a car called the Tomcat. This is a brand new creation, the Terminator, up against that concrete wall that all these drivers are so concerned with.
Now, Tommy has pulled his resources with another Southern mud racer, Gene Johnson, for this vehicle. This is the first time that the Terminator has ever made a shot. Whoa, it's a good one, Gary.
An excellent ride for the Terminator. Let's check the time. It's a good one. Sub 3 seconds, 2.94. 2.94 for Tom Gelder. Dan Brown, not happy with his run. Brown had trouble about half range. Right in here, he gets in trouble and gets out of the throttle.
It hooked on him just a little bit, but good run out of the other lane.
Excellent ride for a brand new vehicle. Let's go trackside and Army Armstrong.
Gary, we got a guy grinning from ear to ear under 3 seconds with a new vehicle. Congratulations.
Thank you, Army. It felt good. It just started picking up about mid-track. Started lifting and going. Felt real good.
Well, there's a look at the green Dragonfly out of Wisconsin, Tad Horvath. Dragonfly up against the Intruder. The Intruder with Tom Marsh. We've seen Marsh a number of times out of Vandalia, Ohio, a suburb of Dayton.
You know Marsh, the guy almost needs to be a professional basketball player. He's about 6'7", a tall, lanky old boy. But I tell you what, you wrap him in a Simpson safety suit and put a roll cage around him, and he can run with anybody.
He's up against the concrete wall, up against the clock, and up against the Dragonfly.
Already the first shot of the day was under 3 seconds. Now in this sport, that 3 second time is the magic time. Let's see if anybody else can do it.
Oh, look at Marsh. Excellent ride for Tom Marsh in the Intruder. Let's check the time. Look at that, 2.87, 287. A new quick time for Tom Marsh in the Intruder.
Well, a Dragonfly, he's a player. He goes to 3:01, but Marsh is showing the track is going to be quick today, and he did it out of the lane the drivers were spooked about, the left lane. And again, look how close he is to the wall.
Well, once again, let's go down trackside and talk to Tom Marsh.
What a turn. 2.8? Yeah. What we got?
You hauled excuse my language.
Yeah. A 2.845. Congratulations. Now all the guys are coming after you.
Well, all now I can do now, Army, is just sit back and hope for the best. You know, hope that I was up here early. Hopefully now the track will slow down a little bit, and you know, my time will stay good.
That time once again was a 2.87. As the crew is ecstatic, and there's that tall, lanky guy as he climbs out, and we take a look at Silent Rage.
Well, it's a supercharged Chevrolet engine, Gary. The engine sets to the front of the vehicle. Scott Lane will be doing it driving out of Spencer, Indiana. It's the first opportunity we've had to see this particular vehicle.
And there is Legal Speed, and that is Glenn Siebold.
Now, Siebold's been around the sport, I think, since Moses was a mud racer. Siebold out of the South, and everybody knows this guy, and they know he will rock and roll you in a heartbeat.
These look like a set of twins staging here.
Well, there is a difference. The vehicle close to us is powered by Chrysler. Siebold uses Chevrolet for horsepower, but neither. Whoa!
Siebold just gets that concrete wall, and look at the suspension damage. He lost the front axle. All the fans up on their feet, and that was the concern these drivers had expressed. There's the time at 3.65. Let's take a look again. Now, he gets in trouble at the very end of the run.
Exactly. You have no margin of error. Right there, he is in trouble. Hooks a rut, bam. 48 inches at the most. They are just too close to that wall, in my opinion.
Oh, and a costly altercation. You can see some of the suspension damage, a broken front axle, and the veteran from Georgia will have to tow that rig back down south, back home, and put it back together. One more look at Legal Speed.
Now, Siebold is a player. He likes to go on the top end. He made a real good strong run, but right, like you say, once he hooked it, he went around and just tagged the wall right there.
Well, Glenn was the 1991 NMRO national champion and, of course, a member of the 2-Second Club. And welcome back to Davenport, Iowa, where Ford Trucks present the PENDA 4-Wheel and Off-Road Jamboree Quad Cities Nationals, a part of the B.F. Goodrich Performance Series. These Jamborees offer a host of activities for the truck enthusiast as well as the entire family. And to find out when a Jamboree is coming to your area, call or write the Special Events Promotion Company. Well, there is a look at the Christmas tree at the starting line here in Davenport. And let's take a look now at the leaderboard. We have had some quick runs already. Tom Marsh at 287, the Intruder. Tom Gilder at 294, and Ted Horvath at 301. The competition now continues with one of the biggest names in all of mud racing, the Tater, Ron Pence, coming up next. And there is the pensive look inside that racing helmet, and there is a look at Tater out of the state of Missouri, and he goes up against the vehicle called the Equalizer. This is Mike Garrett.
Now, Mike Garrett is not new to the sport, but he is new to this engine combination. We understand this is one of the first times he's ever been behind a supercharged engine. Now, he's excited about running the engine, but he also knows a 287's quick, and right off to his right is the bad boy of the sport, the gentle giant of the sport, if you will. You know,
he lets his right foot do the talking.
It's just amazing. He's one of the nicest guys in the world, but he'll rocket you.
Oh, and he is out of the lane. He is out of the lane, and we could have a disqualification. Ron Pence, Tater, yes, there it is. It's official. The officials have just disqualified Ron Pence. He got out of his lane, and there is a 327. There is a 327 for Mike Garrett.
Gary, the rule of thumb in this sport is when you hit the straw, that's all. That's exactly what happened there. He goes on the trailer one shot, a long haul for nothing, but Pence was running his race. He was doing exactly what he wanted to do. He left when he wanted to. He took the shot. It didn't work for him.
It didn't work. He also wiped out the timing light. One more look now at Tater, Ron Pence. One of the biggest names in this sport, and right there he gets in trouble, takes the straw, takes the highway cone and the light. Let's get on talk now to Ron Pence.
Well, Ron Pence, everybody was watching you, but it looked to me like you hooked some kind of a rut out there and just really didn't have a whole lot to control.
Yeah, she just went sideways right off the line. It's hard to get it back going again.
A man of few words. He lets the foot do the talking. Here's the marquee matchup of the entire afternoon. Tom Meents in Shake Me, and he pulls alongside Tom Martin and the Super Trooper, the 4-time indoor champion. This should be a dandy.
If nothing else, they're going for bragging rights. It's going to be a drag race. Who's going to read the tree? Each one is the best in his area. Far Lane, the best outdoor racer right now. Near Lane, the best indoor racer. What's going to happen 180 feet later? We're going to find out.
Oh, Tom Martin pulls the string. Look at the Super Trooper. There's the time for Tom Meents. That's second fast so far at 2:89. But here's the time. Oh, look at that at 2:70.
Awesome.
That's your fast time this afternoon for Tom Martin.
Awesome run. Martin was pumped up. Watch him when he leave the start line. Wheels up. Both of them light on the nose. They're trying to power with the rear wheels. That has to be one of the all-time best side-by-side mud races ever in the history of mankind throughout the world. That was neat, Gary Lee.
And look at the mud on the visor. Oh, now he can see something. Wow, looky there.
Yeah, but watch him saw that steering wheel, Gary Lee. He was working.
Two of the biggest stars of this type of motorsport. Let's go down and talk right now to Tom Martin.
Tom, a 2:7:02. That puts you quick in the day. That had to be one of the fastest mud races ever.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it was a quick run. You know, the track's really rough out there, and I'm super proud of this Van Senna's horsepower. That's what's getting us there.
Yeah, but it's Tom Martin in the cockpit who's getting the horsepower hooked up to this racetrack. And there's the baby blue chemical reaction. This is Steve Behrman out of the Wolverine state of Michigan, and he pulls alongside Matt Hospenthal in No Surrender. It's Ford against Chevrolet. That's No Surrender with a Ford. Chemical reaction has the Chevrolet.
You know, but Gary, both of them rely on the Ford body. A 27 Roadster in this lane, a 23 in the far lane. The Roadster makes a good straight run. That's a Chevrolet-powered vehicle.
336 for the Ford and a 284 for the Chevrolet power. 284, so that'll show up well on the leaderboard. Let's take a look again. It's the left-hand lane with the Chevy power. The 27 Roadster takes the victory. And once again, let's go trackside, and here's Steve Behrman.
You're going to be tickled with this time a 284. Hey, that's a rocket ride for you.
Felt good. Yeah, it just felt good. It looked like I was going towards the lights, but I figured I couldn't do more damage than anybody else has done to them, so I just stayed on it.
That's what you do.
That's right.
Hammer down and keep her as straight as possible.
Well, Ben Medina is going to be coming out now from Colorado. He's a real nice guy in the sport. Takes his family with him everywhere he goes. Relies on the Milton horsepower to really get this Jeep down the track. Now in the other lane, it'll be showtime. We've had a chance to see Ken Crum before. He's out of Kansas City. So either of these guys can be major players in all the action before the day's over today, Gary Lee.
Time to beat once again a 272. Different schools of thought. Front engine with the Pro Jeep fiberglass body and the rear engine configuration for showtime.
The whole idea is to get all the weight off the front so you can drive the vehicle. Uh-oh.
Ben in trouble. Violent crash through the barrier up against the concrete. He is in the cockpit. We see some movement. He reaches down to apparently
unbuckle his shoulder harness or tell him just to stay where he is.
Very slow, though, in getting unbuckled. The safety crew right there. Another driver on the scene as well.
That was a driver's showtime.
That's Ken Crum, who climbed out of the rear engine dragster and ran over there. The fans were on their feet. And they're working gingerly in the cockpit. A violent crash. He got out of shape after he went through the timing lights.
You know, now the safety crew here, they're a good safety crew. He's in good hands. The replay comes up. If you'll notice, I don't believe he ever corrects. Watch the wheels. He never turns back to the right. Bang, into the JoJo blocks. Now, they did their job. They're the water barriers that they're trying to develop for highway safety and racing safety. They did their job, but the car disintegrated.
There's a look at Ben. He is out of the car walking gingerly now over to the ambulance. Some speculation he may have been hit in the face with some mud or a rock.
Well, he's being assisted by the A1 Speedway safety and fire people. These people know what they're doing. Concerned by his family members, we can understand that, but believe me, he is in the best possible hands he can be in right now. These people are good at what they do. The replay's going to come up on the screen, Gary. And I tell you, I think he was hit in the face with something because I don't see him make a move at all to correct that vehicle. He does not ever turn back to the right.
He clips the last couple of barriers with that left front. That flips the car over. The fiberglass body is tossed off. The front end is peeled away. The rear end is gone, much like an Indy car. All the parts come flying off. The driver climbs out and walks away. The time, incidentally, Medina was a 3:58. Crum a 3:36. There are the remains of the race car. We'll come back with more from Davenport. Welcome back to Davenport, Iowa, as we take a look at the barricade following a very serious altercation. We're at the Mississippi Valley Fairgrounds. Gary Lee, along with Army Armstrong. Ben Medina has just totally destroyed his racer. There is the rear axle, the differential, and let's take a look, Army, once again at what happens.
Gary, I actually believe that he caught a clump of mud right in the face because he's a good driver. He never made a move. Watch the front wheels. They never came to the right at all. He just drove into, like a kamikaze, just driving it into the ground. He never had any idea what he hit.
Well, of course, safety has long been a prime concern in this sport and other types of motorsport. And let's go back trackside. Army, you have some observations. You're standing down there with the wreckage.
Gary, we're staying down the infield next to Ben Medina's car, and I want to show you this thing. I'm not trying to glorify an accident in any way, shape, or form, but I want to show you why it's important to follow the safety rules. I want you to notice the roll cage is in full contact. Every place the driver was sitting or around him was like a cocoon. The roll cage was built out of spec metal. It held up, no breaks, no bends or anything. The driver's compartment where the driver was sitting, the seat is fully attached. It didn't break away. The seat belts and everything, he's got a 5-point seat belt. He's got one belt comes over each shoulder, one belt over each hip, and then a crotch strap kept the driver in good shape. The steering wheel didn't bend, it stayed together. The helmet stayed together for him, and all the safety equipment worked. But what we're trying to do is to show you, we don't like to see accidents, but that's a part of motorsport racing. When there is an accident, this is the way you need to come out of it. It's like a cocoon. The driver built the vehicle according to the safety specs, and that's why he can talk about it another day. Back to you, Gary.
Thanks, Army. Let's take a look now at the standings after that violent crash. Tom Martin leads in the Super Trooper at 270, then Steve Behrman at 284 in chemical reaction, and Tom Marsh, the Intruder, at 287. But we still have about 4 competitors to go. We have much more competition coming your way from Davenport, Iowa. And now we take a look at another Jeep Pro Stocker, Tony Alt, out of Columbus, Indiana, in Little Miss Dangerous. And pulling alongside the Mud Stud out of Michigan, this is Bob Monk. Obviously, the driver's very, very aware. They watch, they see an accident like this happen. It plays in the psyche.
Yeah, it plays in the psyche, but I tell you, there's also a mindset, and you're a racer, and you know what to do is. Now's the time to put that all behind you. Now you go race. You do what you're here to do, and you do it awfully well out of the left lane.
Yeah, the Mud Stud with a good time. The Mud Stud at 298, a sub 3-second run. And we look at Miss Dangerous at 340. So Tony Alt, Bob Monk, and Bob Monk, the quicker of the two in the Mud Stud. We'll take a look again.
You're not going to intimidate this guy at all. Goes back in the same lane. The guy in front of him had all kind of trouble. He is sawing that wheel, working it back and forth, and goes under the magic 3 seconds. You can't spook this guy.
Well, Army, we are ready for the final 2 competitors. They'll take the final shot at that 270 laid down by Tommy Martin in the Super Trooper. Off to the right in that white fiberglass Jeep, there's touch and go. That is Jim Rask out of Minnesota. And alongside, in the blowing Chevy, this is Byron Tinky in Bad Habit.
Now, Rask runs a nitrous oxide vehicle. Tinky, in the lane closest to us, runs a supercharged vehicle. Neither of these guys really travel the whole national circuit. You notice the white coming out of the vehicle, he's purging the nitrous system in the far lane. Now, the Jeep in the far lane is a real strong runner in the northern states, but right now he's picking all the bad boys from all over the country. 270, are they going to do it, Gary?
No, I don't think so. Let's wait for the official time, but it will not be fast enough. No, a 3:59, a 3:59 for Jim, and Byron's time, we'll wait for that to come up, a 4:46 for Byron Tinky in Bad Habit. So once again, our winner today will be Tom Martin in the Super Trooper, an amazing run at 270. Steve Behrman second in chemical reaction at 284, and Tom Marsh, the Intruder, takes third at 287. Well, once again, here's Army with our winner, Tom Martin.
Well, Gary, Tom Martin laid down one of the best shots today that we've ever seen in a sport of side-by-side mud racing. A lot of people said would not be that exciting, but I think today you guys have made a lot of believers out of people that didn't think you guys could go side-by-side and go that fast.
I'll tell you, this is the most excitement I've had in a long time. This side-by-side, it's a little more dangerous, but it sure is exciting.
What about the win today? You win a lot of things. You won a lot of world championships, but you come and you run against these guys outdoors. How does this stack up against the indoor guys?
Well, I think they stack up real good, you know. I've heard a lot of flack from everybody not running outdoors, and I really feel proud of my team getting me here, and it takes a lot of good people behind you to get you somewhere like this.
Congratulations, did a great job.
All right, thanks.
And I, too, offer my congratulations to Tom Martin Motorsports, the Super Trooper, for the victory here at Davenport. Once again, Ben Medina is okay after that frightening crash, and that is good news indeed. So that will wrap it up from the fairgrounds here in Davenport, Iowa. For Army Armstrong, I'm Gary Lee. We'll see you next week for another edition of Trucks and Tractor Power. Now here's news of an exciting video release from Diamond P Sports.
It's the thunder and fury of unleashed horsepower, ×2 in this action-packed duo. Call 1-800-982-7979 for a 1-2 punch, featuring the original Shake, Battle, and Roll and Shake, Battle, and Roll 2. And here's the real haymaker. Save $5 when you purchase both videos through this combo offer. You'll feel the ground-pounding action from the worlds of monster truck racing, mud bugging, and truck and tractor pulling. Call 1-800-982-7979 or send check or money order for $34.90 plus $6 shipping and handling to the address in your screen. All orders processed within 48 hours. 1-800-982-7979. And while you're ordering, pick up on a Diamond P Sports sweatshirt. It's comfortable and stylish with Diamond P sleeve logo. Call 1-800-982-7979.